Alright, let's do one last quick little video before G-Fest. You probably already noticed the empty shelf back there, and this episode was kind of inevitable, but it's going to be kind of a smaller one. I don't have much of a variety of toys for this one, mostly because this episode is going to be all Bandai vinyls, and it's all Bandai vinyls from Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. The 1995 finale to the Heisei series of Godzilla, that's what it's most known for. I feel like in recent years it's become one of the most popular classic Japanese Godzilla films. Not for myself, but for a lot of fans, it does stand toe-to-toe with Shin, -1, 54. Now, I don't agree with that. I think it's a fine film. I think the last 5 minutes are really good. But overall, it's not a masterpiece or anything. But I do have some pretty cool toys from it, so we're going to talk about those. Let's start with the main star, the main draw of the film, the actively dying Godzilla, Burning Godzilla. This is the Bandai movie monster series, Burning Godzilla from 2001. For a long time, I was more interested in the Bandai Creation one because at a glance, that one has a more accurate patterning all over his body for all, like, you know, the fire parts. But at a certain point, a friend of mine, I'm pretty sure it was GPTV, got this figure, and I was able to sit down and really look at it, and only then did I realize, oh my god, the vinyl's transparent. That's really cool. So yeah, it doesn't show up super well on camera, but the figure's actually molded in orange and painted black. So if you put this figure in front of light or anything, it bounces off it really well. It looks really cool. Some people don't like this late Heisei Godzilla mold. I personally like it, but it is kind of an acquired taste. He does look a little fucked up. This guy was in my G-Fest haul, and I picked him up from Clawmark Toys. And here's his tag. Pretty basic, cool toy. There's the newer one with the LEDs in it, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of Burning Godzilla stuff coming out lately, so you kind of can pick and choose. If you like the older vinyls though, I'd say get this one. Now let's talk about Godzilla's son, who's pretty much all grown up in this movie, Godzilla Jr. This is the Memorial Box Godzilla Jr., so he's a little smaller, but I really like this sculpt. I've thought about getting the new one, and I've also thought about getting the original 8-inch one as well, but for the time being, I'm kind of good with just this one. And because we're talking about a Memorial Box figure, we have to do our corporate mandated Memorial Box card showcase. Would not be an episode of this show without that. Just wouldn't work, wouldn't happen. So yeah, Memorial Box Godzilla Jr. I wouldn't really recommend him anymore, especially because the new one looks so good. But just like with Burning Godzilla, if you like the mold, yeah, pick him up, sure. Staying on the Memorial Box train, let's talk about Meltdown Godzilla from the Memorial Box. This is one that sticks out when people walk into my room. Especially because for a long time, my shelves were divided where this was only Godzilla and this was all the other monsters over here. Only pretty recently that I divided to where they're all mixed in together just to have a little more room. So you'd see this wall of like kind of black and dark gray figures, and right smack dab, like right there, would be this bright orange one. So people kind of naturally would always gravitate to this one. And he's cool, I like him a lot. I think this is the first version of the late Heisei Godzilla Bandai mold I got. So whenever I think about this mold, I always think about this figure first. And yeah, he's cool. I do think Bandai's gonna do a new version of this pretty soon. It might not be the same kind of like bright orange, but I do think it'll look similar. They were doing like the 30th anniversary of Burning Godzilla last year, and they just really haven't stopped doing Godzilla vs. Destoroyah stuff. I think it just sells super well. So yeah, Meltdown Godzilla, he's cool. I've been pretty nice this video. Alright, a lot of old vinyls, alright, a lot of slop that I like. Let's talk about a toy I don't like. It's the Bandai movie monster series Destoroyah from 2017. He's just a little like chud, dude. He's just like so stupid. I hate him. The color's all like muted looking. He's way too small. His face is all like fat and puffy. Like, look at him. He just does not look good at all. His arms don't even move. This figure sucks. It's like one of the worst Bandais of all time. It's one of the worst, and I'd say it's like one of the most offensive ones. Around the time this figure came out was also the time that smaller Biolante came out, and that was like fine, because the original Biolante at the time was pretty rare. And so we were just kind of thankful to have any new Biolante, any affordable option to get Biolante was fine. But the Bandai America version of this was like still pretty easy to get. And it was cheap. And there's another figure coming up that was also like, I mean, if you wanted it, you could definitely get it for a reasonable price. So this one was just like, why even do this? Yeah, this toy sucks. Don't buy it, ever. It was outclassed from the moment it was revealed, and now even with other newer figures, it's been outclassed again. Yeah, sorry guys, no Giga Destroy in this video. I don't have that thing. I do not want to ship that box to America. I don't want to think about the buy shipping price for that box. If somebody resells it without the box, I'll buy it, but with the box, no. Absolutely. Let's talk about the next figure, which is the objectively better version of this in every way. It's the original 8-inch Bandai Perfect Form Destroyah. This was another pickup at G-Fest last year. He works very well with the Burning Godzilla. This scaling isn't accurate, but I don't know, it's kind of how it looks in my mind. Destroyah should, like, completely tower over Godzilla, in my opinion. I think, quite literally, the only thing you could have for this figure that the 2018 one we just talked about does better is that this one has folded wings. But I'm a freak, and I like when Destroyah has folded wings more than, like, the fully splayed out wings. I think this looks better. I don't know. This and the smaller one they did in 2001 for the Movie Monster series are just like stone cold classic Godzilla figures to me now. They're just so charming and I love them. I don't know. I might get the MMS-01 Destroyah at some point. We'll see. And look, this one actually moves at the arms. See? It's not hard. It's not hard at all. Heck, even his neck moves. Come on. Not even the 2018 one did that. That one's moved to the wings and the legs. Fucking sucks, dude. Alright, this one is the figure that probably has the most sentimental value to me. I've said it before on the channel, but 2017 was my very first G-Fest ever, and when I walked into that dealer's room on Friday morning, I walked in and went to Radioactive Toys. Shout out Radioactive Toys. And the very first toy I ever bought at G-Fest was the 8-inch aggregate Destroyah. I wasn't even really hunting down this figure. I didn't really even, like, particularly want this figure. I mean, I needed it. I like aggregate Destroyah. I like the juvenile aggregate Destroyah more than the perfect form, actually. But this is a figure that, if you saw it in person, especially at G-Fest at the time, it was way cheaper than it was online. It was like this and the Cretaceous Ghidorah Bandai and the Bandai Toto from Gamera the Brave. All those figures, if you saw them at G-Fest, they were like 30 bucks, and if you looked at them on eBay, they were like 80 to 90. So yeah, I had to get this guy. And I've loved him ever since. I don't think I'm ever going to get another aggregate Destroyah. I don't think I'll ever replace this guy. There's so many different shades of like red and purple and magenta going on him. The other Perfect Form 8-inch Destroyah kind of has the same thing, but this one I think does it better. I love that the legs are this like darker purple magenta color versus how bright red everything around them is. I don't know, this could have very easily been one color all around, maybe a little bit of like beige around the tummy or whatever that is. And they could have called it a day, but no, it's all these different colors and they work together and it looks great. I'm also a really big fan of the silver spray on the bottom half of the head. That's really cool. Still get this toy. Yeah, hunt it down, go get it. Why not? You need an aggregate Destroyah, come on. You know you need an aggregate Destroyah. I know you out there, you're watching this video right now. I just want Perfect Form Destroyah. That's no. You need to get aggregate as well. See, look how good he looks next to Godzilla Jr. You want this toy. Come on, let's be real. You want this toy. I told you this was gonna be a quick one. You know why? Because we're already at the last figure in the video. And it's the one that's in the thumbnail because it's the coolest one, and it's the Godzilla Forever series, Meltdown Godzilla. He's super big, he's super cool. The Godzilla Forever series was entirely made up of this late Heisei Godzilla mold in its original size as it was molded and not the downscaled 6-inch version. I talked about in the GMK video how I don't like the Resurrection Godzilla that's all covered in gold glitter, but I do like this one a lot. He's really cool. It's in a protector so you might not get a great look at it, but here's the tag as well. Kind of like how I said with the Hyper Hobby in that GMK video, this does feel like if Bandai went all in on like traditional Sofubi type figures. Which is fitting because Burning Godzilla is one of those designs I like instantly associate with Sofubis. Mostly because of the Marmot Desu Goji. I'm never gonna own one of those, by the way. Don't ever expect to see one of those. I'll own like a mansion and a private plane, and only then will I be able to afford one Marmot Desu Goji. Do not blow your money on those things. Come on. I told you, it's gonna be a quick little video. If you wanted more Godzilla vs. Destroyah stuff, I'm sorry, I don't have any more. Back in the Heisei Godzilla SH Monster Arts video, I did talk about the Burning Godzilla Monster Arts, but I did sell that. At some point, I'd like to have it back. I mostly sold it because I was just in kind of a dire financial position at that moment. I do miss him a ton. I did get this MMS Burning Godzilla as kind of a replacement for him, but I will have him back eventually. Oh, as always, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe. If you have any like YouTube hype points, if you're on mobile or whatever, drop some hype points. Share it with someone who you think might like the video. And if you're watching this right as this video is coming out, dude, G-Fest is this week. As I've said many times before, I'll be there, you'll see me there. That's all from me, so stay safe out there. See ya.